How to form two negative commands. Two negative commands are when you're speaking to one person that you know and you're on an informal basis and you're telling them what not to do. To form the command, you might remember the rhyme that you learned in Spanish 2. Go to yo, drop the O, add the opposite endings that you know. So let's break that down. You're going to go to the yo form of the present tense, so the o, as, a, amos, an song, to remind you of the present tense. Drop the o off of the yo form, and what's left is your base. And you're going to be adding opposite endings to that. By opposite endings, I mean if it's an AR verb, you're going to be adding ES. If it's an ER or IR verb, you're going to be adding AS. So opposite of what you normally would have in the present tense. So for AR verbs, add ES. For ER and IR verbs, add AS. So to give you an idea of what that looks like, don't look up. Obviously, you'll start with a no. Now the verb is mirar. The yo form is miro. I'll drop that O. It's an AR verb, so if I would usually say you look up, I'd say miras hacia arriba. But now it's opposite because I'm telling them what not to do. No mires hacia arriba. Don't run. So we'll start out with our no. Correr is to run. The yo form is corro. Take off the O. It's an ER verb, so add as. No corras. Because if you would normally say you run, you're running, it would be corres. But now it's opposite endings. Don't lie. Mentir is to lie. It's an E to IE stem changing verb. So I lie is miento. Take off the O off of the yo form. Opposite endings, no mientas. The irregular commands, if you'll notice, are all verbs that have irregular yo forms. So dar, the yo form, is doy. So that doesn't end in O, so you can't drop just the O and add opposite endings, you know. Same with ir, it's boy, soy. I is a different story. Estoy, and se is I know. So all of these have irregular yo forms. That's what makes it not easy to form the two negative command. So don't go, don't give, no des. Don't go, no vayas. Don't be, no seas. This next one, it's not really a command, but I want you to learn it now, the irregular form, because next chapter, when we learn about the subjunctive mood, the subjunctive mood is formed the same way as the two negative commands, and you already have this in your head. No hayas, no estés, and no sepas. Not really a command you're going to be using much, telling people not to know something. And you'll notice the acronym DISHES, if that sort of thing helps you. There are some spelling changes for the kar, gar, zar verbs again. You'll remember they had spelling changes in the preterite with the yo form. And that's the same reason that we had to have that spelling change in the yo form of the preterite tense, it's going to apply to the commands as well. And it's because when you add the opposite endings, you won't be preserving the consonant sound of the infinitive. So let me explain that. To say don't touch, and don't write this down yet. No. Tocar is to touch. Yo form is toco. If we add the opposite endings, you would say no toses. And that does not sound like the hard C of tocar. So this is what's going to happen. With verbs that end with C-A-R, car, you're going to change the C to a Q-U when you're making a -2 command, when you're adding opposite endings. Don't play. So if your mom was telling you, don't play ball in the house. Jugar is to play. Yo form is juego. If I add es, opposite ending, it's going to be no juegues. And that doesn't sound like the hard G of the infinitive. So the G will change to GU. No juegues. Oh, perdón. No juegues. Don't begin. Empezar is to begin. And the ZAR verbs, it's not so much a pronunciation thing as it is spelling. As it is a spelling rule. The Z will change to a C because they don't like E's following Z's in Spanish spelling. So, don't begin. No. Empezar is to begin. Empiezo is I begin. We take off the O, but they don't like E's following Z's, so we're going to change the Z to a C. No empieces. And the last spelling change you should actually catch when you conjugate the verb in the yo form. Escoger is how you say to choose. And with escoger, when you go to the yo form, it's not escogo. In the yo form of the present tense, you already had to change it to a J so that it sounded like the soft G sound of the infinitive. So the yo form is actually escojo. But just as a reminder, G goes to J when you're adding those opposite endings. No escojas. If you kept the G, it'd be no escogas. And that wouldn't sound like the soft G that's in the infinitive, no escoger. So how to use pronouns with a command. If you need to say something like, don't eat her, or don't hide, which really you're saying, don't hide yourself. So if you have words like me, te, se, le, les, lo, la, los, las, all of those, they will go between the no and the command. You will not attach these to the command like you did with the to affirmative command, which is kind of different because with both commands you're talking to one person informally, but the affirmative command in the to form and the negative command, as you've already seen, they're very different. So don't eat her, no, and comer is to eat. So let's first form the command. Go to yo, como, drop the O, opposite endings, comas. And her, don't eat her, it's la, direct object pronoun. not le. Le means to her. No la comas. So if you were telling an eagle, don't eat her, talking about turtle. No la comas. Don't hide. If you're crying out to turtle for whatever reason, don't hide. No. And then esconderse is to hide. The yo form of escondo is, of esconder is escondo. We drop the o. No escondas, opposite endings. And we need to put the yourself. I'm speaking to one person informally, so te. No te escondas. Ok, chicos, es todo.